Welcome to Trucking with Fitz. Today we're running to Platteville, Wisconsin, and then we're going all the way up to Spencer, Iowa. We knock out some miles today. And we also discuss how I became an owner-operator. So stay tuned for some trucking. Welcome to Wisconsin, my friends. We're already delivered. I just remembered that I forgot to write down my mileage when I crossed the border. So we're gonna have to make sure we do that on the way back through. I can infer the mileage after that for the first border crossing. It's not hard to find that. Exit 21 is where I get off for Platteville, for the Menards. So 42 plus a half mile and a half mile after the exit. So basically 43. So subtract 43 from whatever I get crossing the border here in a minute, and we'll be good. Make sure Wisconsin gets its fair share. They got us unloaded in 30 minutes here this morning. That was a good turnaround. It's usually not that good here. So I'm gonna hightail it back to the yard, and left at 8:30, so I should be back at 11 o'clock-ish. Should allow me to get a good load after that. I would really like to get some good miles today. I didn't pick up my trailer last night. So I had to go get it this morning. Left the house around 4. So really we're doing pretty good. I've only made one stop besides my drop. That was a load check about 30 minutes in, or 20 minutes in. My normal Tama stop. And then we hightailed it all the way up here. I'm gonna plan on stopping on the way home. Make less stops, eat less food, get more done, and I don't know that I'm gonna lose weight, but healthier. I really wanted to get breakfast there in Platteville, because you just cross the street and you got a Quick Star. I never fill up there because the fuel is always like 40, 50 cents more expensive. Maybe it's not quite that much. I don't remember. I haven't looked. But it's always more expensive here in Wisconsin. Always. So I wait until I get back to Marion if I'm going to fill up. Now, I don't need to fill up right now, I don't think. I guess I could if I really wanted to. I got another hour or so until Marion, so hour and 15. Hour and a half? I don't remember. I'm a little zoned this morning. I talked to a buddy of mine for like an hour and a half this morning, which I don't usually do. Maybe it was just an hour, but... And I just been cruising. Didn't record any, I just enjoyed my time. I figured I'd bring you guys back on here during that dip there. We dropped down the valley. I think that's a pretty section, so I'd chat with you. Oh, now we're at exit, 8? Is that what that says? We'll see if this way station's open today at the border. I doubt it is, but we'll find out. Don't know if they're doing some work to the way station or something, because the light's not even on at all. Like, doesn't say closed or open. It says neither. That's all right. Less stress on me. It was doing the same thing earlier, so coming the other direction. It's not just a fluke. One side not working. Wait, what are you doing telling me to go to 55 already? What? I don't wanna. We're about to drop down in. Right lane closed ahead. Oh, fun. How soon? Well, I was gonna say let's enjoy this view, but there's not really much to see, is there? Let's drop a couple clicks here. Oh yeah, you can see, you just gotta get below the cloud. Boats out there. I'd like to try that. On the Mississippi River. Here. This new Quick Star's open. Maybe I should stop. I don't really want to. It almost seems like it's only for one direction. I'd have to backtrack significantly. Yeah, no, I don't think I'm going to try that. Although it does look nice down there, but I still should not plan on stopping, so. I just need to sometime because that's brand new. But we'll do it coming from the other direction. Make it easier on ourselves. Guys go now. So today is going to be our biggest mileage day that we've done, I think. Because, well, we did our Platteville this morning. Oh no. No. Had to be a reefer, didn't it? What a blessing. Oh, fun. At least they're small tanks, right? At least they're small tanks. Oh, we're going to Spencer right now, guys. Oh, he just moved the cone. Does that mean it's done? Well, if Mr. Pickup Truck moves, then I can go. If he doesn't, yeah, we're getting over there because that's a full-size pump. What's this guy doing? Yeah, we're gonna go over there. I only have a tank on one side. believe we're going over here. We're gonna have to go past and back up to it. But I don't wanna do anything dumb. Nice Kenworth pulling through. Let's see if I can see him. Reminded me of Nick Weber's truck. Alright. Now we're good. You know, I haven't watched him in a long time. Maybe I should. I don't even know if he still has that truck. Okay. That never does that for me. But it did it right now. Alright. That's the update. We're in Ellsworth right now, and we're getting fuel because we want Subway, because it's lunchtime. A little bit of a zoo at lunchtime. See if we can get direct right out. I don't like pulling out of here because we're not going to be able to get right out. Dang it. It's on such an incline. Makes it unpleasant. But I got somebody coming, so I'm going to have to stop. And I'm not going to enjoy it. Not going to enjoy it at all. I guess you could sort of see the incline here. I got a couple cars. You know what? I'm going all the way down to low. We ain't screwing around. I got another car. Pleasant. Okay. See if I can not destroy a differential. You're turning. Okay. That was relatively uneventful. That's why I just like it right there. Still going uphill. And trying to shift. Okay. Maybe I'll drop that clip because of how bad I shifted there. Let's not do that anymore. That was gross. I also got a grain truck behind me that's right on my tail. Schmidt says don't drive with your mirrors. It's time like this. This person behind me's making me mad. Okay. I'm not actually mad if you're wondering. Is he loaded? Well, maybe I'll get him on this acceleration. He's got his third axle drop. We're going to be using almost all 13 gears. This guy parked in a very terrible spot. And he's going to try to go. Oh my goodness. People are very dumb. Oh well, he didn't actually slow me down. So what am I complaining about? I shouldn't be. And he completely just, oh man. Poor TNC truck. He just got stranded in the left lane. That was exciting. That's the guy that was behind me. should be up to Highway 20 very shortly, and we're gonna go over to Webster City, and we're gonna go up to 3. Then we're gonna go across 3 today because it's the middle of the day, and we'll enjoy that, and then we'll come across 20 on the way home. We're definitely gonna go straight home today. I suspect that I'll be back to my house at 7:30 tonight. So not terrible, but later than I would prefer. But I had yesterday afternoon, I had the whole afternoon, basically. Maybe not that much. What was it, 2:30 when I got home or something like that? And me and my daughter, I guess I told you guys this earlier. We hung out then, working outside. I think my son was still napping, or I don't know what he was doing, but give and you take. I had extra time yesterday, so we're okay with taking a little extra time to run today to make up for yesterday's short day. Alright, I want to eat my lunch now. We're in Spencer, and we're getting unloaded. Don't be rude. Don't be rude to people. I finished all unstrapping and winded up my winches, and the 2 forklift operators, well, there's 3 of them here, but 2 of them were getting ready to unload my trailer. They're looking at the trusses and like, what are we gonna do? The local delivery guy comes in, and he whips around and backs in a weird spot, gets out, and like rudely waves at the guys getting ready to unload me to get over here and unload this. That's all he said. He just yelled it. I was like, what? Wow. My truck takes the same priority as his truck does, if you guys are wondering. I'm also a Menards truck. So he was very rude, and the unloaders didn't listen to him. A different unloader came and helped him, but it was like they just ignored him. He deserved it. 100% deserved it. I came around the corner and I jokingly pointed to my trailer and said, "Unload this," and then started laughing. I was like, that's about as rude as it gets. Oh, absorbed with oneself is what that guy was. So they're getting me unloaded. Hopefully quickly, because I'm behind schedule. Just because I went the long way. Like I said, I went up through Eagle Grove and Goldfield, and then across through Humboldt, right? Yeah, Humboldt and Pocahontas, and there's a couple other small towns in there, but that's the way I went, and it took longer because I was avoiding 20 because I was overhanging and I didn't feel like messing with it. So that's what's going on here. One of you guys asked a couple videos ago when I asked, well, you guys suggested when I asked what kind of topics we should talk about. They asked how I got into being an owner-operator. So I figured I'd talk about it a little bit. Non-conventional. I've talked about it before, but not specifically aiming at being an owner-operator. I talked about my truck journey, which answered this question, but I didn't specifically say this is how I became an owner-operator. Like I said, non-traditional. It would have been the summer of 2018. I was still working at a Christian camp in the summers. In the fall, I decided I was going to do non-CDL hotshot. It didn't start there in my mind, though. I had been thinking about different things I wanted to do. The first area of research and interest started out with the guys hauling RVs, RV transport. That intrigued me. And I almost aimed that direction the year before, but ended up deciding not to. It didn't pay very well, and just my life situation led a different way. And over the course of the next year, I ended up deciding I was going to do non-CDL hotshot, which going back, I don't know if I do the same way, but I wanted to do non-CDL hotshot, but I was still working for this camp occasionally. So I wanted the freedom to do whatever I wanted, basically is what I'm saying. So I decided I didn't want to work for a company. I didn't want to lease on. I didn't have any experience. I was a little crazy. I don't... Looking back, I was like, wow, I can't believe that I actually ended up just going for it, because I didn't just go for things, but I did this. And I don't know if you guys have ever watched Toe Piglet. He doesn't put a lot of videos out anymore, but when he was very first starting with his YouTube channel, before you ever saw his face, and I think he's actually deleted those videos, he did a video on how to start your own company, and step by step, forming an LLC, getting your insurance, all the different things needed. And I sat down with a notepad, wrote it all down, and then did it, and it worked. And here I am. What did I start off with? So I started off with a Ram 2500, well, a Dodge 2500, because it was a, what year was that? Was it 1998? The first part of 1998, which would have been a 12 valve. I think that's how it works. Correct me if I'm wrong. It's somewhere in there, 97, 98, where they transitioned halfway through the year to the 24 valve. I had, it was green, long bed, extended cab, with the 12 valve and the automatic. And I had a 20-foot gooseneck trailer, single wheel, well, 2 axles, but so I could go up to 26,000 pounds total. Not 26,001, 26,000 was my max. And bought a trailer cash, bought the truck cash. Over the course of the next few months, I burnt the transmission up, as I knew I was gonna do. I really did. That's when it would have been January of 2019. I got a loan for my 2500 HD, my 2009 Duramax. And I ran that truck from 170-something thousand miles all the way up to 300,000, doing non-CDL hotshot. 2019, fall of 2019, I moved to Iowa, and that whole summer I hadn't ran because I was at camp working in the summer, but I had run a good bit of the winter, spring, and did non-CDL hotshot there in Iowa, doing a lot of back and forth from Chicago, Minneapolis, Kansas City, Omaha. Same sort of thing that I did with flatbed semi-truck. And that winter of 2019, I went and got my CDL through a company called One Day CDL. 1 day to train. You go through the course as far as the road course, practice your backing, all that stuff, in a single axle Sterling truck with a single axle flatbed with a synchronized 6-speed manual transmission. So I got my unrestricted CDL without knowing how to shift a regular semi-truck transmission. So that, you know, it worked out great for me. And that company still exists, I believe, and I think you can still do that. Not the shortness. Obviously, the laws have changed, where you have to do class time and in-person time more significantly. I don't know the specifics of the law, but that's what you got to do now. And got my CDL, winter of 2019. Same day, I went over to a couple different companies, to Vanderhaeg's, looking at a used truck, and to MHC, looking at used trucks. And I got the rude awakening that with no experience, you ain't buying a semi-truck that's not cash. So after trying around a little bit, decided I was gonna buy a truck cash. And like I said, this whole time I'm my own company. Albany Peak Logistics is formed in 2019 in Wyoming. 2018 rather, summer of 2018, late summer. It would have been August 2018. I transferred it over in August of 2019 to Iowa, and been running under my own authority the whole time. Same numbers. Transferred over from, I had my my new entrant audit in Iowa, and actually it went very well. And I'm very glad that it happened when I was still doing non-CDL hotshot, because new entrant audits usually include all your IFTA crap and all that, but it didn't include that because I wasn't running IFTA, because I was under 26,001 pounds non-CDL. So I had e-logs, I had all that stuff good to go. I passed flying colors, basically. And I'm glad that I didn't have IFTA, because, I don't know, the way I do it now is confusing. So, hope I don't get audited. Yeah, they're almost done with me. They are done. Anyway, to my first truck in a minute, once we get rolling. We're delivered. We're just pulling out of Spencer right now. We're gonna try to hightail it. Actually, I'm gonna try going straight south, past Storm Lake on 71, and go the fast way. Roll past the scale. I doubt it's open. I'm probably gonna check checker path, see if it's open. I doubt it is, but I might just risk it because I need to get gone. That's the fastest way. Anyway, the only other thing I was gonna say about it, I have a video a couple months ago talking about my truck journey, so that can go in more depth as to my semi trucks. But I was talking about how I decided that cash was gonna have to be how I did my first truck. And cash is how I did my first truck. My first truck I paid $4 grand for. Yeah, I think I mentioned it before, but it was a 19, I always forget if it was 88 or 89, Volvo white GMC WIA. It was a dog. It either had 390s or 410s. It was probably a 350 Cummins in it, and man, it was slow. It had a 9-speed, and man, it was slow. I made a lot of people mad in that truck. But I bought it cash, and I started, this time of year is always nostalgic when you first feel that crispness in the air, because this is right around the time of year that I started in a semi-truck, switched over from hotshot. So there's a lot of nostalgia. The very first trip I took out in that truck, so I bought it in the summer, got it DOT inspected. It failed miserably. Fixed all the things that needed fixed, which was a lot of stuff. I put a lot of work into that truck. And got it DOT'd, passed DOT inspection. Almost gave up on it at one point. Did I say June? I bought it in June, and I didn't run it until September. Maybe it was the end of September. I don't remember exactly, but so yeah, there's some nostalgia right now. The very first trip I took, I broke down. One of the things that I had to do to pass DOT inspection was get the. I had to have my fuel pump rebuilt, so I ripped that off and I sent it off to a guy in Nebraska, and he rebuilt it for me. It was leaking. So it wasn't actually running necessarily bad, but it was leaking. Leaking pretty good, actually. So, got that fixed. But the very first trip I took, I got to turn off for Belle Plaine. So it was 36 minutes from home. And I lost power. Like it was starting to, I could tell it was choking. Going up a couple of the hills, I was able to coast into that turnoff that used to be there. It's not there anymore. But it was like a DOT turnoff, not DOT, but like road construction DOT and / parking area. Got in there, and I was stranded there. You're getting a longer story than I intended to tell, but maybe it's entertaining. I found a line that was loose, so I tightened it up, and I tried to start it, and I couldn't get it primed, and I killed my batteries. Turning it over so much. Batteries were old anyway. I ended up buying new ones after that. But a lot of things happened there. I spent a lot of time. I walked to the nearest house, and you always hear stories of getting stranded and finding a random house, people being really hospitable and giving you help and overdoing it and feeding you and all that stuff. Not that I was expecting that, but they were, man, there must have been something else going on in their life, because they were really rude with me. And I walked like 3/4 of a mile, it was probably a mile, to this house, and then I had to turn around and walk back with nothing. They wouldn't help me get jumped. They just turned me away. I don't know if they realized that I walked there. So, anyway, that was not one of those scenarios where people were very hospitable. Maybe they wanted to be, maybe there was something going on in their life. I'm going to assume that. But at the time, I was sort of like, I don't know, devastated. This is the very first trip. I'm headed to go pick up some power-only moves. I had to cancel them. And eventually a Housby truck came in and parked there for a minute doing some paperwork. And he was kind enough to jump me. I still couldn't get it started. I ended up finding something else that was loose. The main line was loose, so I was getting air in there. But eventually I had to have my wife come after work and come save me. I sat there most of the day. She came and we jumped it, and I was able to get it started and limp it home. But that was the very first trip. It was very discouraging, if you're wondering. Very discouraging, but we persevered. We're still here. Like I say, go. I did a video. Actually, it was probably, yeah, it was a couple months ago. Yeah. Talking about my truck journey, and that'd be a good one to watch. So, all right, we're gonna get on down the road. Oh, one other thing. I got an air leak. Significant air leak, and it's the trailer. I parked there in Spencer in my designated spot, and usually, if you're not a truck driver, this yellow knob is the trailer, the truck brakes, and the yellow one, or the red one, is trailer. Obviously, trailer air supply. Usually, when we pull into some place we're planning on going again soon, we just pull the truck parking brake, and we leave the air supply to the trailer. That's usually what we do, and that's what I did. Unless you're on a steep hill or something, it's perfectly fine. And I left that so it still had air to the truck, or to the trailer. Got out, and I could hear a hissing sound. And usually, when you first pull into someplace, you just assume it's the leveling valve doing its thing because you went over some bumps or whatever. But it clearly wasn't. And I could hear, you can hear the air coming out of the tanks, like it's feeding the trailer constantly. I could hear that, and I could hear the air sound. So I checked the glad hands. It's not the glad hands. I checked the air lines, on the frame. It's not there. And where the sound is coming from is actually up above the kingpin plate. So it's not an easily accessible place. So I don't envy the maintenance guy when he has to fix it. But we're gonna limp home. We're using a lot more air than we should be, but it's not terrible. I've had worse. We're gonna get it home. We'll take it back in the morning, and they'll get it fixed. We got Cedar Rapids for tomorrow morning, so it's gonna be a mediocre day. And honestly, after Cedar Rapids, I might hop over and get this thing aligned and get those tires done. I might. I also might not, because I'm still anxiously awaiting my my insurance renewal, my quotes for the new on the other companies. That was supposed to already happen. I don't know why it hasn't. Tomorrow I will be calling them. So yeah, we'll see what happens. Hopefully that doesn't mean they've had all bad quotes and they're waiting on one or two more that might come in. I hope it doesn't mean that, because we might continue to shop around if that's the case. Anyway, this video is already getting long. I've talked too much. It's like all talking today. But I'm telling a story, and I hope you enjoyed the story. I made a lot of stupid mistakes, so if through some of these stories you learn from my stupid mistakes, that would be a win in my book. And a lot of you guys have more experience than I do, so just be entertained by my stupidity. And yeah, comment down below. How do I ask this question? I would like to know how you started as an owner-operator, if you are one. I don't know how to ask that question and have you be relatively brief, but maybe there's something you can share, some wisdom. Yeah, comment down below. I'd love to hear about it. And hit the thumbs up button if you would. I really appreciate it. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't. I would appreciate that too. And we'll see you on the next one.